All right, folks, we're going to do this again. People make comments with very little backstory, and that's, I guess, part of doing YouTube. But I've got three or four other boas up in here right now. This is an open enclosure. It's a large, I don't know, I'd say by, 9 foot tall by 4.5 feet by 4.5 feet space. It's a closet that I've dedicated to a cage, an enclosure, and my four boas roam around in this room all together, and they're back there in the back, right back there, in their hides, and they can go up. This is at the about the 8 to 9 foot level up here on this shelf. I'm standing on a stool, and they have different microclimates down. ECC, he's flicking his tongue down below. I have all kinds of different spaces, and so they can climb down and go to different spaces for a little bit different temperatures, and they get away from each other. But they all tend to hang out together a lot of the time. The smaller females will go down to the lower shelves, and that could be based on they want their own space or they want a different temperature, because it's usually heat rises and it gets warmer and more humid up here than it is down below. But I have a glove on just from, I don't like being bit. And if you saw my last video, I squeal when they strike at me. I'm just not a big, even if these are not big boas. And just in regards, if they were larger boas, I would be doing things much, much differently. But since I have these smaller breed of boas, I do things differently, and that's just the fact. I'm not really super worried about the end result of being bit by one of these snakes, but I don't like it. But you can see Leo's coming down towards my head. He always does that. And I'm over here. And he always is very interested in me as I am standing here dealing with other critters down here. He will come off the ledge and hang down a foot or 2 foot, and I look up and he's right there by my face. I'm like, you freaked me out. And so this is just a very different situation. Most people don't do things these ways, but I do. And there's not a right or wrong particular way of doing it. And they've been thriving like this for about over 3 years in this environment, and they are healthy and they eat like crazy. I don't know what good comparison. Rabbits, I guess rabbits eat a lot of pellets and constantly eat. These things constantly are eating and are healthy and good colors, and eyes look good and clear. But I think he backed up because of my voice. He did. But also too, I had my cell phone, which has a little sensor on it that shoots infrared out, and it helps it to autofocus. Most reptiles, a lot of reptiles, don't like that autofocus, and it was directly pointed straight into his eyes. This camera's off to the corner and not shooting directly into his eyes, so that could be very, very upsetting for a reptile. So there was all kinds of things that lined up for him to not be cordial with me, and he was territorial, or he just got pissed off with me being there at the time. So he bit me. But you can see my hand. This was just a day ago. I don't have any teeth marks or bite marks on my hand, and usually, if anything just touches me, I get little blood holes, and I start dripping blood. So no, he didn't bite me to thinking I was food, because when a snake bites you and they think that you are directly food, they don't let go, and they try to wrap around you, and they hold on, and they can hold on for a while. He immediately just brushed against me, let go, and retracted it back into the things in the background, and gave me time to get away. And that's just a warning, is what I take it as, a warning, a little warning bite, if you want to say. But I have my glove on. He's the only one, my hypoboa. I have a UVB light, a UVB bulb along one of those fluorescent bulbs, and it's a 5.0, or actually it's a 10.0, but it's an old bulb, an older bulb, at least over 2 years old. So it's not emitting a lot of UVB, but he's the only one that stretches out here, and it's about 1.5 feet, 2 foot, all the way back to where he's got the rest of his body inside a hide, and he stretches out and lets the first half of his body get some UVB light. And he's the only one that does that. Everyone else avoids the UVB light. But I wish he would come out. I just have it decorated up here, but I have my glove on, and also too, I shoot videos and I edit videos, and if a video's a long current little span and nothing's happening, I edit that out and I fast forward it. And so people, you just got to take it kind of, you know, with some context, but it's video, so there's not a lot of context unless I tell you. But I mean, I just make videos and I shoot them. So when I got bit, I got it on the camera. I was like, well, you know, I'm gonna put this online, probably get a lot of hate, but put it online. It's content, it's videos, and I like making videos. So, but you can see the snakes don't like getting off of here. When they're up here, they're really enjoying what they're doing, and they like hanging out. But I can come in, and he's right here by the water bowl. And I'm coming in with a hand or a fist. I usually do it for a fist because it's harder for someone to do a lot of damage to your hand when they have a smaller mouth. That's why I come in with a fist. Other people do this too. Other highly trained people with reptiles. Or, you know, I can come in with my fingers. But that's easier for something to think that's, you know, something interesting to, you know, maybe put their mouth around. So I just come in. You can see he's always watching me. He's tongue flicking. I can't really move the camera around because it'll be focusing on his, let's see if I move this, focusing on in his eyes. But you can see here, he's flicking his tongue. He could think, he's very interested. He could think, well, you know, I just fed him like 3 or 4 days ago. He's got a full belly. They all do. This snake has a really great personality. He's really, really interested in me. When I come in, he immediately comes at me and is interested, and you know, comes and follows me, and is just a very unique snake. I mean, could he bite me again right now? Yeah. I mean, it's just, he's a snake. He's a little bitty brain. They do think about, you know, either food or being endangered or territorial. Those are 3 good things that reptiles are on their brains. But you can see, if I pulled him out, he didn't want to come out. He's going to retract back in. I have to usually catch them when they're out roaming around, and during the day they're not roaming around, but in the evening time they all come out and climb up and down up that 9 foot of space that I give them. I have little bars and little nooks and crannies and boards that they can weave around and get up and climb up to the 9 foot. Gives them good exercise. But most of the time, that's when they're out and they're easy to pull out. I take them out and I hang out with them. But in this environment with all this junk, all these limbs and rocks and things, it's very difficult to pull them out because their tails wrap around everything, and it's just a mess. I mean, probably if you watch reptile videos and you hear people, certain people talk about decorating their cages, they're like, I keep just a newspaper in there and a water bowl and a hide, because it's easy to get your reptile out instead of having it decorated with a bunch of things. It's basically, when you have this setup, it's more of just looking and knowing that you're giving your reptiles more of a natural environment to hang out in, you know, feel good about. But it's very, very difficult to get them out. And that's exactly what, with me pulling Leo out, I mean, he's latched in. He is locked in. He's not coming out. He just went in with Manny, my Nicaraguan boa. And I can probably show you now that he's not out. See back there? There's hide boxes all back there. There's one there. There's one under that log. And there's one right there. And so they all congregate in the hide boxes. And so there's Leo's is very special. I love him. There he is. You can see he's gone around in there, turned around, and he's just poking his snout out. just probably waiting for me to go away. And then so he can come back out and just sit under his light in peace. But yeah, it's just fun. I mean, just making videos, hanging out with my snakes. Every once in a while, if you have a snake, you're probably going to get bit at one time. And with my snakes, it's very, very it's very rare that one of my snakes will bite me. You know, Leo's only probably snapped at me probably 3 times in almost nearly 4 years, and maybe one time grazed me, and with his bigger front teeth, and then the time just a few days ago where he reached around and told me to get out and leave him alone. But I'm gonna go ahead and just show you. Oh, this is heavy too, so it's hard to do with one hand and hold the camera. All right, I have to really step up on my step ladder, and it could be dangerous. I could fall and very easily, but I gotta move things around to come back here and resituate things. But there's Leo's head right there. See, he's flicking his tongue. That's something you want to make sure, and I don't know in the last video if he was flicking his tongue, you know, getting to know, you know, who was out, if that was me. I believe these snakes know me personally with my smell, that I'm their caretaker. And they can relate that smell, and they have a big enough brain and processing that they know who I am. They know I'm not a rat. But we're gonna pull this up and just expose everybody. Okay, so we have maybe three or four of them in there. We got, let's see, Manny, we got Paisley, and we got Leo. So there's 3 boas in this, under this hide, and they're in here just hanging out. I could try to pull him out, but it's very, very difficult, like I mentioned, to pull Leo out, or pull them out. They're comfortable where they are, and they like it in this environment. It's humid, it's warm, it's quiet, and they're just hanging out. So just wanted to make a follow-up video. I got to get down so I don't fall. See, now Leo's the one that comes out during the day and goes and is out. He's just out. The other ones hide. They are, no matter what, 99.9% of the time, they are not out during the day. Leo comes out during the day, or he'll stretch out about a foot, 2 foot, 1 foot of his body, and just hang on the edge. And it's just unique. A lot of personality with Leo. And see, he's going back into this second little hide right here. But that's it. Hopefully, you know, people find this, you know, entertaining. I don't know about entertaining, but informative. I don't even know about informative. It's just videos. I don't have a lot of people that view my reptile content. But for the ones that do, I thank you for watching. Hopefully you can learn something, you know, from me and the way I do things. You know, I do things differently, and not everyone does things the same, and that's fine. There's not always just one way to do something. There's always multiple ways to do something, so you got to have an open mind. And like I said, I know these animals very, very well. I've had them, most of these reptiles, these snakes, these small boas, 3.5 to 4 years, maybe more than that. I just don't have it in my mind when I got everybody. But it's been a while, and so I've worked with them often, every day, and almost every day, you know, 365 days a year. I am gone a few days, and so for work, and so I'm not with them, you know, for a day and over the night, but I'm usually back the next day, and I'm checking on them and feeding them and loving on them and taking care of everybody. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.